the most simple and practical terms, it means learning by targeted empathy and by um, guilt manipulation, emotional manipulation, learning to question. Oh, and they also abuse humility too, because you're like, oh, I want to be humble. I'm open to questioning. I'm open to learning, right? So this humility, guilt, and empathy, all theoretically good things, but they're being manipulated. But pushing you to look at the historical past, our Western history, look at all the bad things, feel bad about it, wish it was different, and get to the point where you aren't proud of anything. And you're just like, well, it's all kind of crappy, so it doesn't really matter what we do, where we go. It'd be better just to wipe the slate and start over. So it really just creating a distance, a lack of connection and pride between our cultural history and our future as a culture, and opening that door to, well, it would really be better to be something else.
Yeah, that reminds me of something that you recently said, which was nihilism. We're being groomed towards nihilism.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've watched recently, but all of the people who are here for the World Cup in soccer, right? And everybody's like, oh, they love their French fries. They love our food, whatever. But one guy specifically said, in America, you have hope. And he's in the UK, and he said, we don't dream, because if we dream, people automatically say, well, that's stupid. And it does seem to me that is something I'm watching in the classroom. I'll ask the kids, about culture, and they are tight-lipped. And I'm talking young kids. They're very tight-lipped on celebrating anything until I talk about culture. So I'll say, well, my culture is this. And, this is like my nationality plays a part in my culture, but not a huge part of my culture, because I don't even know all my nationality. I would just call myself American. What does it mean to be American? And like building that up. No, we have a culture, and that is grace, resilience, and grit. That's our culture. And like teaching them that, but you're constantly fighting, in my opinion, this uphill battle of every institution. And this is a thought that I had when you were saying that they were changing kind of the meaning, or they took something out of Christianity. That's entryism, right? Does that make sense?
Entryism, as in, I'm not familiar with the term.
Okay, so entryism is this idea that we need to play on your empathy. We need to, and I would use the term tactical empathy. So we need to play on your empathy. We need to make you feel that you're unkind if you don't give us access. And then we're going to fundamentally change it all on you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So that's kind of how I look at it. And that's why I was wondering if it switched on you, if you came into school and all of a sudden it switched. And I do want to get into some of your thoughts on nihilism, but I really want to talk about, because I really, really try to focus on what young people will be facing, right? And so when you get into class, like, did you feel like you were abused in the classroom in terms of having to talk about things that were uncomfortable, or what was that like?
Well, I only lasted one semester, so
okay.
So I didn't have a lot of time for that.
And when was this?
University of Louisiana at Monroe, and it was online. So
it was all online. Okay.
Yeah. I was states away. So
okay.
So for the most part, everything was pretty good in the intro and whatnot. There wasn't much conflict. One story I will tell, which I still just find absolutely hilarious. We did an assignment where the teacher sent us a video without sound, and it was two people interacting. And so we were supposed to be looking at body language. learning about how that shows up and what it communicates. And it was from some TV show I wasn't familiar with, but there were two characters. One was a white guy and one was a black guy. And they were having a conversation, and we were supposed to describe the interaction. And I sit down to write it and think about it, and I just start typing, the white guy said, or the black guy said, and there's a little thing in me where I'm like, is that going to be a problem? But I was like, how else? That's what I'm going to describe. So I was just like, okay, whatever. Write it up, refer to the one guy as the white guy, the other guy as the black guy, and post it. And then I go and look through everybody else in the class posts. So probably another 20 posts or so. 0 people referred to the white people and the white guy and the black guy. One student said the man who spoke first and the man who spoke second. And it's like, are we going to sit there and remember who spoke first? That's how we're like, you can tell they're avoiding the issue.
Right.
And one person said this, and this one made me laugh, the man with glasses. And I was like, okay, yes, it's true. The black guy has glasses.
Right.
But that's not the first thing that we see. Like he's a black guy and a white guy. It's and theoretically, here's the thing. Theoretically, that's the whole social justice thing. Oh, we're supposed to see race. We're supposed to be okay with talking about it. But in this class, which included black people and white people, no one was comfortable with just saying there's a white guy talking to a black guy. No one was comfortable with saying the words. Even though theoretically you're supposed to feel comfortable with that. That's what they say. And I just had to laugh when I saw how much people were going to avoid using that. It was ridiculous.
I find that way too. People will say, she has glasses. She sometimes has her hair up. And I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah.
You can literally say like that is a part of my character, or that's a part of who I am.
Right.
And to me, it's no different. And I guess it's just I don't want to call it a generation thing. I know we're supposed to, but I don't want to. To me, the color of my skin is not a whole lot different than the color of someone's eyes.
Right.
Now, do I happen to fit a bunch of those stereotypes? Sure. But that's a more nuanced conversation. If you're just describing someone, I want to say the tall person with the red hair, because it quickly lets you look around and go, oh, there he is.
Right.
Like you have to look at every single person. Oh, do they have brown hair? Oh, do they? It's awkward. And I think that therapists are supposed to be a person that you can connect with. And I think that being on the other side of this, I think that if I walked into a room and I thought the therapist was sizing me up for a bunch of things that were irrelevant to the conversation, I wouldn't want to have the conversation. So they're making a whole bunch of people who don't feel comfortable connecting with each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did it change your views? I mean, you were only there for a semester. So did it make you think differently about different people, about different races specifically?
No. I mean, I knew I was familiar with the, whatever you want to call it, the social justice rhetoric and approach and framework all beforehand. So I knew what they were going for, and I knew why I didn't agree. So I saw more of what I was hoping to avoid, but it didn't surprise me. And like I said, they didn't present it in a way that was actually particularly persuasive or challenging. It's not like they said, here are these studies, let's talk about this, and let's convince you of this. It was just a foregone conclusion. This is what we believe, and this is what you have to parrot. So there was nothing persuasive about it anyhow.
Did it seem like the instructors actually believed it, or that they were just going through the motions?
No, it seems they definitely weren't just paying lip service, because I tried several times to have a frank conversation with them, and it was just we can't engage on this level. We can't talk about this, ask these questions. So they were very much committed to holding the line. Whether they actually believe it in their heart, I don't know. But they were doing the enforcement thing and holding the line.
And were they minorities themselves?
One of them was a Black woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened that was your final breaking point?
Well, when they had with the social justice unit and everything flipped, I was like, this is not okay. And I made a post of, I said, I will not engage in the academic religion of social justice. And I gave some reasons as to why I disagreed. And so then my professor said she wanted to discuss my concerns. And then she didn't want to discuss my concerns. She just wanted to convince me that I was in danger of wrongthink. And then I had another conversation early in the next semester that was a struggle session with the head of the department and my other two, or her and the other professor. So 3 professors. And then,
can you explain a struggle session? I do know what it is, but
yeah,
might not.
Yeah, it's comes out of, the term was used to describe what happened in communist China, where they would basically sit you down and emotionally abuse you, essentially, in order to get you to realize that you were a bad person and get back on the party line. It was part of the whole brainwashing and cultural revolution scheme. So the term is used to just denote when there's whatever established authority figures, professors, people who have the power to kick you out of school, sit you down, and they will, if you just listen to their words and you're not sort of aware of what's going on, then it might sound reasonable, but it's not a conversation. It's not a dialogue. It's a punishment session. So
it's a shaming session.
Yes, exactly. It's a shaming session. Yeah. So they just sat me down and said a bunch of things and said they wanted to hear from me. But when I brought up, quotes from our ethics textbook that supported what I was doing, they just completely ignored it. And anytime I tried to have a specific conversation, they just were like, well, brought it back to the fact that I was somehow unsafe and problematic and whatever.
Okay, so again, you're online. So the worst that you can do is use words. Mm-hmm. It's not like you're going to show up somewhere and be violent. Mm-hmm. And they're calling you unsafe.
Yeah, unsafe in the sense of unsafe to move forward towards becoming a counselor, that I wouldn't be safe for the practice, safe to help clients and be hospitable to them, welcoming.
Right. And I understand that. One of the things that I've recognized is what I would call safety culture.
Yeah.
A culture that says you shouldn't do this because it will be unsafe. Mm-hmm. And now we're saying that people can be unsafe for having different ideas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So as people go through this program, is it like it tears you? First off, was this a religious institute? Was this a religious university? No. Okay. No. Okay. So probably the majority of people know exactly what they're getting into, you'd think. Okay. So basically activists are getting into therapy.